So we are here with Karen Gorey. Karen, you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Well, what I say, my name is Karen Gorey. I live at St. Joseph. I'm a caregiver by profession for the last 21 years. I'm the third child of 5 siblings.
Okay.
I'm also a handmaid of the Lord, attached to the San Augustine Unions.
Okay. And you talk about being a caregiver. This is a caregiver for elderly, for what exactly?
Yes, the elderly.
Elderly.
And sometimes, well, as I said, the young people.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a nurse, but for whatever reason, circumstances, I wasn't able to become one, but branch off into the caregiving, which I never regretted. And I figured that is something that within yourself, because nursing on the whole is like a calling, or should I say a vocation,
Yes.
a vocation. You know, you have to really have that love and that understanding towards the elderly.
Yes. Yeah. And you speak of love and understanding. What are the main character traits that who wants to take care of the elderly?
You have to have a lot of patience, understanding, trust, and love. That's to me that's the basic.
Okay. Particularly dealing with your family members who may be elderly or infirm. Are there any differences you think?
That's a little challenging,
Yeah.
because when it comes to your parents and the respect you have, they being your parents, you being their child, and taking care of them, they would always see you as a child. So it's a bit challenging, because it's like they will not want to listen to you, because they will figure that you have to listen to them.
Yes.
Now, you may not find that in all cases because of what your elderly relative may be going through, because they may have those that bedridden, they can't do anything themselves, so they suffer with diabetes, cancer, they may be bedridden.
Yes.
Then you have the Alzheimer, dementia, so with all these different ailments,
Right. Yes.
it's a kind of different care you would have to give.
Okay. And what would you say we should avoid as family members who have loved ones, for example, who may have dementia or Alzheimer's? But those are things that we've seen, a lot more in our society now. What would you say to someone who's experiencing that?
Family, in the sense of their family.
Yes.
You have to take care of their family.
Yes.
You have to be a little more understanding. You have to be more patient, because sometimes when it's a parent, yes, but when you get old, you get aging, I should want to put better with aging, it is to cast them aside. You have to let them feel wanted, needed. You find little things that they would do, but sometimes it's difficult when it becomes like in the case of a parent or a relative suffering with the early stages of Alzheimer's / dementia. It's difficult sometimes.
And the key thing, as you say, is respecting
And you
them.
you have to respect them, because and you have to give them, it will take away the dignity, because well, for me, I always, as I was taught, put yourself in the person's shoes. Just so you would want somebody to treat you, treat them the same way.
Yes.
Kind of get into their world,
Yes.
because now it's a difference. So you're trying to get into their world,
Yes.
instead of you just saying, well, do this, do that, or put it here, and put it there. Some people really don't have the patience to really deal with it, and that's where caregivers come in. But when you have siblings, you have to learn to share the work. And in a case where, like, you may have, let's say, your parents or parent, and you're not you alone, you have other siblings. Come together, discuss, talk, and ever so often they rotate they share the work. It's not like it's not really a job, but remember that's your parent or your parents. So you say, well, okay, I will take mommy or daddy this weekend, you will take. So they have a way of, so it will be like you're sharing the qualities, and
but it can be burdensome.
Because remember too, sometimes you want to go somewhere, then You can't go because they want to go somewhere, or then you can't leave them alone, nobody to come. So, you have to communicate with your other siblings.
Yes.
In a case where it's just one person, it's really challenging, but again, you could always ask of other family relatives,
Yes.
especially if they have friends and you know that, like Miss Mabel across the road or Miss Jean. You could always ask them to do you a favor by sitting in, and you be considerate of the timing. It may not always be, but you will want a little time out for yourself, so.
Another important point, taking time out to replenish yourself and how does spirituality fit into that? What would you say is the spirituality that is needed for caregiving someone who is elderly or infirm?
I say your faith plays a lot. Sometimes when you get overwhelmed by sometimes life problems, is the only person to really bring you through this is God. So once you have God in your heart and you can have that conversation with Him, He bring you out of all these little trials and tribulations.
And he said, I am your burden bearer.
Yeah.
Come to me, I'm your burden
And
bearer.
it really feel good because even though you can talk to a friend, but for some reason when you're talking to him, you feel more at peace.
Yes.
Just have that peaceful inner feeling because He could really fix everything.
God is love, God is
And
peace.
so be nice for the caregivers, whether it be siblings or strangers, that if you could go somewhere, like have a little group that you could go and just relax. When I say relax, like support, because
to get
everybody will
support.
have like a different experiences
Yes.
and different challenges,
You may just want to know how to deal with it.
Yeah, you may not always know because
yeah.
this will be new to you, and and everybody will have a different experience.
Yes.
A different experience because no two persons is the same.
Yes.
I had my challenges with dealing with elderly persons with that, not relatives. And I have to say, I went through, they could be abusive too.
Right.
They could be abusive, whether it be physically or verbally. And you as a caregiver, you have to take that. But you have to also be stern on the other hand, because if you let that get out of hand, then you will be in problems, because then they have no respect for you. Give them something to do, make them feel like, they're doing it and they're enjoying it, but at the same time they're watching them. You see, when you take away all the independence, that sometimes they're going to have deeper depression. You give them some clothes to pull up, and what will be nice too for the people, you see, when the men having to forget, it's really more difficult than when you just need a companion and you have all your senses. You could give them like a book to do, try to do like, well, for instance, like
some activity,
some activity. It's always good to get them involved in some activity. It's because it's a balance and it's a give and take.
Yes.